I'd like to open the Bluff Board of Mayor and Alderman regular meeting, December the 4th, 2018, at 6 p.m. to order. I'd like to welcome each of you here tonight. Sharon?
Alderwoman Madison. Alderman Ward.
Here.
Vice Mayor Harrington.
Here.
Alderman Smith. Alderman Bowling.
Here.
Okay. And the next thing on the agenda is a prayer by Alderman Richard Bowling, and immediately following, pledge allegiance to the flag.
Let us pray, please. Dear God and Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the day that you've given to us to enjoy. And Lord, we just thank you for many blessings you've given to us. And Lord, we ask you to be with this board tonight as they make decisions for the city, be in your favor and the city's favor. Now, Lord, we ask you again to be with us and keep us safe. For these things we ask in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor. How are y'all today?
Just fine, thank you. It's
Good,
Dave
thank
Wilson, engineer for Mattern and Craig.
Thank y'all for having me this evening. I'd like to talk about some of the ongoing projects that we have and to answer any questions you may have about these. Please stop me at any time if you need to. The first project is the USDA Rural Development Grant Loan Project, and we're in the middle of Contract 2. On that project, we have processed 4 payments to date. The amount of work completed is approximately $765,000 of the $1.8 million project. We do anticipate processing an additional payment and to have a status meeting, progress meeting number 5 on December the 11th, which is next Tuesday at 1 p.m. and invite anyone to attend if they desire. The contractor's usually there, and we'll talk about our progress. I have been informed the contractor maintains that they are on schedule to complete in May as contracted, and they have notified me that beginning the first of the year they intend to have what I took to 2 additional crews, which I took to be 3 to 4 crews running concurrently. I know that the majority of the work to date has been water and of course the sanitary sewer, and that'll continue. The contract 3, the water treatment plant work, the preliminary engineering report for that, I intend to give that to Louis Trivet on Tuesday, and hopefully we will have any other required action from that before the next board meeting if anything else is required from our point of view, or making any comments or any revisions they may have. The third item that I have was the ongoing filter media project that was approved in the amount of $53,000, and the contractor has been given the award and the notice to proceed on the project. I understand they have ordered their materials. They anticipate to have those in at the end to the beginning of the first of the month, and to start by January 14th when all the materials are in. Given that, they were given a date of the 14th, I believe, for their notice to proceed, which means they need to finish by the end of February, hopefully sooner. And that's all I have on those projects, if you all have any questions.
Does anyone have any questions?
Is everything else on schedule right now?
On the contract 2, yes. And I think we'll have a better indication, particularly after the probably in the February, March, we'll know where we stand in terms of everything. Right now, it seems to be on schedule to finish on time. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. We're down to citizens' comments. If you have a comment, come to the podium and give your name, address, and phone number.
Don Weaver, 4336 Bluff City Highway, C-1. I'd like to talk about a few cars, Bluff City cars, police cars. I noticed in the budget that you've got 18 and 19, one car each year, and we've got all of this 3 or 4 cars that we put up on the hill. Well, you put 3 recently, but we had the first of the year we had another one, 08 that put up, so that's 4 shy. You've got 2 cars is all you have. You can operate with 2 cars. Now, the next thing is going to be asked, what about the Durango? That Durango was bought in 2012, and they were hurting and trying to get a cruiser then. Couldn't get it. So the guy down there told them, said, and then what they were really basically want was a 4-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive. So they chose to take it, but it's an average car, just like you and I would go out and buy one at Friendship on West 8th Street. It cannot be used as a cruiser. It doesn't have anything effects of that. And if I believe if you guys had known when you made this budget and you knew that you was only going to have 2 cars, surely to the world you'd have voted for 2. But now you're to a point to where this has come up and all you have is 2. And you definitely will this town will run out of cars with the 2 we got. Because if you've got 4 that we normally have had, look at the miles that you're putting on it. They've got about 20,000, a shade over 20,000 apiece right now. With a scenario like that, I just can't see why, and it's not anybody's fault because nobody knew those 3 cars were going to go down. Now, the chief has got all the stuff that's wrong with them, all the estimates, and y'all need to hear it. We don't want to run in a situation again and run these 2017 Fords up. It'll run them. And there will be a time, and I'll give you a for instance. If you've got 2 cars and you've got the Durango, well, for instance, if you've got 2 officers that's going to have court, say Monday, same day, different time, different cases, where they're going to one of them will have to take the Durango, and the other one will have to take a Ford Explorer. That leaves us 1 car. That 1 car is out here protecting the citizens, driving through the streets. He runs up on 19, and he runs up on the speeder. That speeder could happen to be drunk. He's got to go to Blumpville. Also, he's got to have that car towed, and he's going to be there a while, and he's going to be over there a while. We'll have not any cars.
Your time's up, and we're going to have to let you finish at the end. We do have a car coming in March.
But you still, Irene, you just.
We've got to new business yet. We'll discuss it then. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything to say?
Everybody else gets 3 minutes, so we'll leave it at 3 minutes.
Carol Keith, 305 Lakeview Circle, Bluff City, Tennessee. I'll make it snappy. I echo what Mr. Weaver had said.
Definitely.
I mean, their jobs is very important. And as a victim or survivor of a hate crime, justice is very important to me. And we need to take care, especially of the people that are trying to take care of us. Also, I heard that there's going to be an increase if you pick up leaves or something like that. Is that right? $7.50 or something?
We haven't said anything about it.
Okay, so it's nothing about that then? I won't say anything.
No.
Okay.
Well,
Don't count this in my 3 minutes now.
Go
ahead.
On the limbs, it was supposed to be on the limbs, it was $750.
Additionally, you're allowed
If it was more than
It's
time.
it's more than one time it'll be that way.
We got numerous amounts of brush,
Mhm.
750, yeah.
Okay, but do you still have to get a work order in order? Okay, because don't come pick up my leaves unless I call you. Okay? My water bill, I travel a lot. My water bill this month is $109, and I'm only home 2 weeks out of the month. Okay, I say that to say this. I had my grandbabies for about 5 days during Thanksgiving holidays. So I had to do not a lot, but one load of laundry, okay, for the boys. And I'm thinking people that are living on fixed incomes and got little children that's going to school and have to use water to wash their clothes, give them baths, and the water bill is steadily going up. I know I talk about that, but I have compassion for others. And it's not right. And I would like to just ask the board, what's going on? Are we broke? Because if we are, we all can come together and work together, do fundraisers or something to try to raise money.
Excuse me. I don't think that you understand the process.
Well,
You
I'm
know,
learning.
you have money in the general fund. We can't take money out of the general fund to use for the
Okay.
water or the sewer.
Sweetheart, I understand that. But how in the world can we afford to, and you know me, Ari, I'm all about giving. I try to help anybody that I can as long as it's right. But how in the world can we afford to give donations here, donations there, when our policemen are driving cars that outdated?
All
I mean,
these
we can
cars
afford
didn't
to
just
give.
go out overnight.
Okay, but the water bills did. The water bills are steadily going up. How can we give money when we don't have it? We need to take care of home first. I understand what you're saying. But we got to take care of our people.
We have to go by Nashville, what they say we have to
Well,
do.
then, you know what? For every problem, there is a solution. I'm a firm believer in that. There is a solution. And there is something that can be done because you're killing the people. And not only that, Ray, you're deacon, Richard, you're deacon, so you know. Think about it. You're robbing the people.
There's not been any water bill raises since July now.
But, honey, they're high. And all you're doing, and it's sad, is taking money from people. And I wouldn't want that blood on my hands because you will answer to a higher judge. And God sees it all. And it's not right. And I'm not here trying to be ugly, but we all need help. My time's up. See, you got that good.
Yep.
I suggest people about to really get out there and vote next year. Whatever election is.
David Harmon, 200 Holston Drive. Is water plant up and working now?
No, we've encountered some more issues due to the media on the other train.
Well, how long is it going to be? I mean, we're buying water from Bristol for over a year now. Am I right? I'm just.
Pretty close.
That's about $250,000 we're donating to the coffers of Bristol. That's a lot of money, isn't it?
Oh, no, too bad.
And we're sitting here, we don't have money to do other things with. It's a lot of money, isn't it, Mr. Fry? You're looking at me mean.
Oh, I'm not looking at you, man.
Does anybody have any idea when you're going to be the water plant's going to be up? Or are we going to just sit there and?
That was the item we talked about. The third item, the filter media replacement. It's scheduled to be completed by the end of February.
That's all we need. Is that right there? At $53,000. Is that all we need?
That's what I understand. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you didn't make that 45 days, did you?
Well, I test fired it, and it just wouldn't hold the state standards. So.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Does anyone else have anything they want to say? Mr. Fry, is there anything that you'd like to say so people will understand more about the water and sewer and the general fund?
Well, the water and sewer fund's an enterprise fund, has to pay for itself. I mean, you can't commingle the funds.
You have to have enough money to pay income to pay the expenses. That's what it comes down to. You have to have, and if the expenses keeps going up, you can't start decreasing water bills and expenses going up every day. But it But the people has to pay for that. But you can't.
We're buying it cheaper than you can make it.
No way. No way. You don't buy it cheaper.
That's what he told me when he
Okay.
told me that was wrong.
That was for chemicals, David.
Okay,
That was for chemicals.
let's move on. Does someone else have a comment? If you do, come to the podium. If not, we'll move on to discussion and action on regular meetings, October the 2nd, 2018 minutes. Do we have a motion?
I'll
Make a motion to accept.
I'll second.
Take a vote, please.
Alderwoman Madison,
No.
Alderman Ward,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Bowling,
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to the special call meeting of November the 2nd, 2018 minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
Sorry. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Take a vote, please, Sharon.
Alderwoman Madison,
No.
Alderman Ward,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Bowling.
Yes.
Okay, and the last one is special call meeting, November the 13th, 2018 minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll second.
Take a vote, please, Sharon.
Alderwoman Madison,
No.
Alderman Ward,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Bowling.
Yes.
We'll move on to discussion and action on the first reading on ordinance number 2018-010, an ordinance to amend section 13-41. Mr. Fry.
An ordinance to amend Section 12-401 of the Bluff City Municipal Code dealing with standard building codes. We're updating our building codes, and we have to do this every so often according to state law, and that's what this is.
Okay. Do we have a motion to pass?
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance.
I'll second.
Take a vote, please, Sharon.
Alderwoman Madison,
No.
Alderman Ward,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Bowling.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to the first reading on ordinance number 2018-011. Mr. Fry.
An ordinance establishing the minimum regulations governing the conditions and maintenance of all property, buildings, and structures by providing the standards for the supplied utilities and facilities and other physical things and conditions essential to ensure that structures are safe, sanitary, fit for occupation and use, and the condemnation of buildings and structures unfit for human occupancy and use, and demolition of such structures known as the Property Maintenance Code, and we're also updating this one.
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to accept it.
I'll second.
Take a vote, please, Sharon.
Alderwoman Madison,
Yes.
Alderman Ward,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Bowling.
Yes.
Okay, discussion and action on the first reading of ordinance number 2018-012. Mr. Fry.
An ordinance to amend Section 12-102 of the Bluff City Municipal Code dealing with building permit fees. This is also updating our schedule to meet the state building permit fees.
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to accept it.
I'll second.
Take a vote, please.
Alderwoman Madison,
No.
Alderman Ward,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Smith, Alderman Bowling.
Yes.
Okay. Discussion and action / the first reading on ordinance number 2018-013, ordinance to repeal ordinance number 2016-003, dealing with the closing of City Hall on Election Day. And like I say, that we need to have some more discussion about this ordinance? Or do you?
This is an ordinance to just close City Hall when the City Hall is being used for a voting precinct.
Okay.
Is that city and whole as the public works as well?
I think
Unless they're on call.
that wasn't included in that, but I think it needs to be included.
Well, no, this would close it. This close everything.
Everything?
Okay.
Yeah, except
Okay.
on-call
I was
personnel.
going to say except for on call.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve then.
I second.
Take a vote, please.
Alderwoman Madison,
Yes.
Alderman Ward,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Bowen.
Yes.
Okay, I'd like for everyone to remember the parade on Saturday. We have a Christmas parade on Saturday. The lineup at 4, and the parade starts at 5. We hope everyone to come out. And I handed out a notice from Sullivan County Election Commission that sent a notice on the time and when you can start filling out your petitions to run for election in May. And so the election's in May. So, okay, the first day to issue a petition is December the 26th, 2018. The last day to file is noon, February the 21st. And of course, the states on the ballot will be Alderman, and it is elect 3. Seats currently held by David Smith, Sandra Madison, and Eric Ward. The deadline to register to vote is April the 22nd, and early voting starts on May the 1st through May the 16th. Mr. Fry, do you have a report?
Yes, I do. We've collected a little over $3,000 in delinquent taxes this month, and I want to wish each and every one a Merry Christmas. And Mr. Harmon, I love you, and I wouldn't look at you mean, and I don't
I said that in jest.
Okay, discussion and action, the financial report. Sharon Green, City Recorder and Finance Officer.
Fund balances as of October 31st, 2018. General fund, $1,427,262. Sanitation fund, $18,187. Special police fund, $13,301. Debt service fund, $105,791. Sinking fund, $3,095. Water sewer fund, $693,019. Total fund balance, $2,260,655.
Do we have a motion to approve the financial report?
Make a motion to approve financial report as read.
Second.
Take a vote, please.
Alderwoman Madison,
Yes.
Alderman Ward,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Bowling.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and do it now.
I have something to present to the board that happened starting November the 30th. We have had 4 counterfeit checks presented to Regions Bank on the general fund. There was one presented on November the 13th for $3,000. There was one presented on November the 15th for $2,000. one presented on November the 26th for $3,000, and one presented today for $3,000. I have a copy here for the board. I'll make you all copies later, but if you want to look at them tonight.
Were they for payment?
They were presented for payment. The first two got through, but we have signed the affidavit for those two that was presented on November 13th and November the 15th. And we had to sign affidavits, and Mr. David Bell at Regions Bank said that would be put back into our bank account. The one on November the 26th, they called me that morning, and I verified that was not our check, and they put the money back into a bank. They did not pay that one. They returned it. The one today also. What they've been doing since they caught them, they email me each morning the checks that was presented to the bank, and I have to verify everything before they are paid. Our situation now is we need to close, you have to make the decision to close that account and open a new one. We still will have to, that account will be open, but it will be on called positive pay, and that's exactly what they've been doing the last few days, starting on the 30th. What they do, they send me a list, and I have to verify them before anything's paid. Or I can make a list that checks all the checks that I write with the check number and the amount, and those are the only things that will be paid through that account, because it will take up to 30 days to get all our state people that takes the withdrawals out for our 941 taxes and our sales taxes for the state of Tennessee. Those have to be notified of the new account. I'm talking to Sheila Sturgill. She's in Johnson City, and she's the one that talks to me each morning and emails me all the checks that's been presented. And she sent us letters, and the mayor and I signed them today and sent them back, that we have online banking that has not been used,
Right.
that it has always been on there, that nobody since Judy left, nobody had access to it, and nobody knew that it was on there. So they're going to set us up so that I can look every morning and see what's been presented for payment.
Make it a lot easier on you.
Yeah. Instead of, she will still notify me, but I myself can look every morning and see what checks is presented.
I say we go forward with that then, get a new checking account.
Somebody's writing checks on less than.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have they're in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Is that the same place as before?
Same place it was before.
Yeah.
Well, they think they say Wilmington.
Wilmington.
Somewhere in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you all want to see these checks, that sort of ridiculous. It doesn't even look like a checks, and signatures definitely don't.
So is that coming out of the general fund checking account is when they're hitting?
That's the
Yeah,
same
general
one
fund.
last time.
Made out the same person.
Well, two of them's
Two of
made
them,
out
yes.
to the same person.
Yeah.
To Dominic Banners.
Yeah.
But the other one was made out to Shanika Lawson, but it has the same address. So it's all one, yeah.
Is it actually our checks as far as the layout of them and stuff?
Well, you can,
Whenever
not
it's there.
really. They've just got our name. The number is nowhere near, and then the signatures are completely out of.
It's not exactly like outside. It's good to know.
Because they've got our signatures on file, though, don't they? You think that would kick that out?
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah, they don't anymore. They just tell you that, do you know how many bank accounts there are to look at?
Right.
That's what the bank says.
The good thing is that we'll be getting the money back.
But if you can see it every day,
Yeah. You can go
you
on
can
visually
you
look
can
at
catch it, and if you catch it that day, they don't pay it.
Right.
Like that's what she does. She sends me the checks that comes in tonight. She'll send them to me in the morning, and they're not paid yet until verified.
Good. So what do we need to do? Do we need to make a motion for that? Or?
For the new account.
Yes, we need to make a motion to close the account.
Okay, I'll make a motion to close that Region's general fund account and open a new account for the general fund.
I'll second.
Take a vote, please.
Alderwoman Madison,
Yes.
Alderman Ward,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Bowling.
Yes.
Okay. Everything. And we'll have comments from the board members. Alderwoman Sandra Madison.
I want to thank everyone for coming. Have a Merry Christmas. Mr. Fry, thank you so much for my mug and my kisses. Thank you. My granddaughter will love these. Funny sister.
Alderman Eric Ward.
Oh, just thanks everybody for coming out and drive safe. Have fun in the snow this weekend. Maybe we ought to bring sleds to the parade.
Vice Mayor Ray Harrington.
Appreciate everybody coming out. Look forward to the holidays coming up. Wish everybody a Merry Christmas and spend time with your families. Thank you.
Alderman Richard
I
Bowman.
also appreciate everybody coming out, and I wish we had standing room only again. But, and I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Okay. We have a report from the city officials and this is Chief of Police Greg DePew.
Just to touch on some comments that were made there on the 3 cars that are put on the hill. Don't blame or point fingers. I don't blame anyone here, and it's not something that just occurred overnight. But there are 3 cars up there. One's 2008, one's 2012s, and it's not lack of service. It's not lack or abuse of cars. If you research these issues with these cars, which the mayor has had me taken to 2 different dealerships to have them be looked at and estimates given, which was extraordinary. It's extremely high. I mean, I have them. She has a copy of them. These cars, if you research this, these problems they have are with all those cars. Every department who purchased them, it's front ends, it's engines. Sometime back, this problem started when we started replacing engines and not addressing, and I don't blame anybody. I think everybody's intentions, even mine, everybody included, was to do what we thought was best to save money and where the cars were new. So I think everybody was doing what thought was best at the time. But where the problems lay in, we're talking over $5,000 for the cheapest estimate. It's all front end work, and it's the drivetrain on 2 of them, transmissions, and then the cams and lifters. They're shot, and that's in all those year models. If you go to the Dodge dealership and you ask them what's a common issue, they're going to tell you. So we've been able to get them serviced. I don't think they've been abused in any way or anything like that. It's just unfortunate that we're where we're at with them. So we just do the best we can with what we have.
Question. Since we're already in the process of getting them one cruiser in March, correct? Okay. Could it possibly be done that we set up payments on a second one and use the special police fund to pay for it till it goes into the new year in June or July, I mean?
You only have $13,000 on that special fund. It has to be.
But could we set it up?
Doesn't it?
Could we set it up on a monthly payment using that?
Well, we could look at borrowing the money for 2 instead of 1.
Yeah,
We
but
just
I'm
have
just
to
saying we've
check.
got budgeted for one,
Yeah, we have.
and we've got another budgeted one in the next coming year. But if we went ahead and started making payments on it and got 2 at one time, and then kick in July for the second one, as far as payment, out of the budget, and use the special police fund just for the following 5 months?
Well, we can't use the special.
I can't use it for that.
No, it's for drug related.
You've got to, it's got to be
Equipment or-
specific for drugs. If you can,
You know what, I just...
yeah, but like I said, it's something, we got to last year.
Right.
And myself, the mayor, we never,
March, when was it ordered?
huh?
This car you're getting in March, when was it ordered?
We ordered it, Mayor, when it was just ordered
Few months ago.
recently. And they're supposed to be pretty quick with it, is what we're being told as far as getting it here. But that's, that's where we stand with it. And, it does make it a little tough with court issues like that, because there's times you might have an officer in Bluntville court, you might have an officer in Bristol court, or, like your parade situation. If power outage went out, you got the intersections at 11E, Industrial Park Road, 19E. You can't stand out there without something. So it's just, that's where we're at. The way we got there, this started way back, has nothing to do with anybody here. The maintenance of them's been done. If they've needed work, it's not been a problem getting it done. But we reached a point where we had to take them somewhere. The county, they're getting rid of them, and they just ordered 40 new Explorers because they had so much trouble with them. They were spending so much money, and the mayor and I both, we said we just can't, so we put them up on the hill. And that's what I think we need to look at, what point, if mayor, the board, you all want to just sell those cars to try to salvage something out of them while we can, would be something that you guys would need to.
Yeah. I say,
Are we borrowing the money
I'll say
this
that-
person is coming?
Yes, we will finance it.
well, can we get a price for a second one and see
Well,
if
that's
we
what
can
I was
afford it?
saying when you were,
What
we
was the
could
price on
look
the
at
first one?
financing too,
Be
have
cheaper.
to talk to the, to get the quotes on them and, look at doing that.
Okay.
And I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I'll second
You
that.
want to make the motion to, check on
Check on the
financing
financing on the
too?
other on the second one.
Richard, can we amend that motion?
Yes.
To make it where it's, use the sell these 3 cruisers we got on the hill,
Put that money towards them.
yeah,
Okay,
and add that to that motion.
yes. Make
Is
a
it
motion
okay
to
to
finance.
Just do it in one motion.
Mr. Fry,
Finance.
do we need to have 2 motions or just one?
Why don't we have 2 motions?
2
Why
motions.
don't we do one on the financing and then
Okay.
do one on the surplus property?
And let me ask this while you're doing this. You want to go through the Gov deals like we've been doing it? You want to run them on Gov deals?
That works the best.
Okay.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion then we go ahead and finance 2 cars instead of 1.
I'll second.
Take a vote, please.
Alderwoman Madison,
Yes.
Alderman Ward,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Bowling.
Yes.
And then I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and sell those 3 remaining cruisers on the hill on govs.com
I'll second.
and use that money to
Yes,
help.
go ahead.
Alderwoman Madison,
Yes.
Alderman Ward,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Alderman Bowling.
Yes.
Okay. I'd just like to say we have had a good month. Things have been going well. We were able to, the mayor hired a local guy, so we got our positions filled back, and he's so far so good. And very happy with Tyler Johnson. I don't know if any of you know him, but he's grew up in Bunker Hill and actually lives in Bluff City. So we were fortunate to get a good Bluff City guy hired. So, but for the month, we had a total of 234 calls. We had 71 citations issued, 42 warnings, patrolled 3,510 miles, had 12 arrests, 11 offense reports, 15 alarms, had 11 accidents. And unfortunately, everybody knows what happened up on 19E with the fatalities. And I want to take a second. Tim Compton, one of our officers here, a very young officer, he'd worked at Kingsport in the past, but he responded to that call when he arrived. It was the most horrifying wreck I've seen in my time, with both people, on the scene. It was a 2 fatality. And the way he handled it, state troopers told me it was amazing the way he handled himself and the way he conducted business. So I'm just thankful we've got guys like that here that step up and do that. We had 13 MSDs. We had 3 drug arrests, and while I'm on drug arrest, Brian Hubbard, Officer Hubbard, he is an outstanding drug officer and makes a lot of drug arrests. And how many of you had in the last 2 months? 10, 12?
Ooh.
And they're always pretty good drug arrests. He seized a 2003 Cadillac DeVille, $2,148 in cash. That was a good Monday morning meeting. So it starts out good on a Monday when you can report you've seized $2,000 in a Cadillac.
Ooh, yes.
So and got drugs off the street. So
Yes.
they are working hard. Everybody's we're excited and doing well. Everything's going good. And one other thing, and then I'll hush. A couple years back, we got involved really big time with the governor's highway safety and the child seats. You've seen us at Heritage Days giving out seats. We've tried to make sure anybody doesn't just have to be here. It's all about safety. It's all about the kids. And it's all about helping someone. If Bluff City can help someone, even if they're not from here, that's something good we can do. So what we did in all these agencies in Upper East Tennessee with the governor's highway safety, we were chosen today to be with the Children's Hospital and Governor's Highway Safety, the Child Safety Partner Agency of the Year. That's where we did more than any other agencies. We were real aggressive with it, giving them out. The officers trying to work on traffic stops or special events we had. So I want to brag on the guys for doing that.
Yes, amen. Yes.
But that's all I have. Any questions or any concerns or issues?
You gonna do a toy drive this year?
We're doing it. We are. We've been working on it. The mayor and I have worked on some things we've got going on, and we are definitely going to do that.
Great.
Chief, you and I spoke one time about trying to get the youth in the community active in the police department, coming down and doing stuff like that. Did that ever go anywhere?
What we would have to do, the way it is, Mr. Fry may be a big help with this, city manager, the city would have to actually pass something allowing us to do that. And I know we had talked about like ride-along programs, not actually being with the reserve program. Some agencies do that. Cities do that. They have a waiver they sign relieving the city of any responsibility. That is something they do. I'll be happy to work with the board of citizens to make that possible. Just see what we need to do with that. But anything we can certainly involve the youth in our community in is what we need to do. So board and mayor, if we can look into stuff like that, see what we can do and what legal ends of it as far as maybe getting some things with the community involved in some of the younger kids and stuff. Even if we have a night down here where they can come, maybe we can do something with the community and have the officers come in and just kind of get a relationship with them.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you.
I've talked enough, I guess.
Put your 3 minutes in.
I didn't hear no speaking.
Public Works Supervisor Alan Moultrie.
Good evening, Mayor, Board. How are you all doing? In the month of November, the sewer department, the sewer pump stations are operating well with there being no issues regarding the pumps. The staff has been working hard flushing sewer lines throughout the system. Since the start of Phase 2, the project that's currently going on right now, they found numerous leaks that have been discovered and repaired, resulting in less infiltration into our sanitary sewer system. So that's actually been a big asset to what we got going on. Overall, progress has been made throughout the system, but there's still more work that needs to be done. For example, we still have some homeowners that don't have their gutterings removed from the sewer system. At some point, we are going to have to address those situations. And if you do fall into that category in the future, you are if you're unable to prove where your storm guttering discharges to, the city may be inclined to remove that defect for you. To move on to the street department, the staff has been working hard trying to keep up with leaf and brush pickup around town. The city will begin picking up leaves on Wednesdays and Thursdays. That way we won't be tied up picking up leaves Monday through Friday. It's been kind of tough trying to work all of that out, because you'll have a customer, let's say for instance, put leaves out on Monday. You go pick that up on Monday, ride back through on Tuesday, you got another pile, and it just continuously keeps going. But other than that, the priority of leaf pickup will be based off of work orders that are turned in. So if you see us pass by, it's not because we're being lazy and not wanting to pick up your leaves or brush, whatever the situation is. We're just basing our workload off of who turns in a work order first, and then anybody that hasn't been picked up after that will be picked up afterwards. And as in reference to what she was speaking of in terms of the $750, I believe it is, as in brush pickup, we've been having situations where we'll have a contractor, let's say for instance, comes in, does some work for a customer, puts that brush out on the road, and now we're left having to pick up brush that a contractor actually ended up doing the work on. So, and we're basically trying to curb the situation. Like, we'll have some customers that'll, I don't want to say they're abusing the situation, but they'll put out large swaths of brush or whatnot, and you'll basically tie workers up for numerous amounts of hours just basically picking up brush. So we're trying to get a grasp on everything. So that's why there's so much going on regarding brush pickup, because it's becoming more of an issue. Because, like in some of the situations, like with those who have banana leaves or bamboo, we can't chip it. We don't have anywhere to house that. So, whenever we are picking up bamboo or these banana tree leaves, they're just basically sitting at the shop because they don't go anywhere. Like, we got bamboo down there from 4 years ago. So that's what we're trying to curb. So, but other than that, as the winter season gets into full swing, we ask those who park their vehicles along the roadways to park their vehicle well off the roadways, so you allow for us to safely plow the roads and salt the roads. But other than that, that's all I have. If you all have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer anything you got.
You have any questions?
Doing a good job.
Done a good job, Al.
Yeah, you're working hard. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you, too.
Good evening, Mayor, Board. Over the past, in October and November, we repaired 12 water leaks, and we've managed to get the loss of head gauges and the air scrubber installed and back in the plant. So hopefully once we get the new media, we'll have everything ready to go as soon as they're done, be able to fire up and run. So, anybody got any questions?
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
See Herschel.
Okay, we're down to the Sullivan County Commissioners, Dwight King.
Herschel.
King couldn't make it tonight.
Oh,
I kept saying Herschel.
I am so sorry.
That really hurts. Miss Mayor.
He's gotten taller.
Do I look that bad?
No, I'm not saying he's looking bad. Okay, we got to get back in order.
Mayor and Bluff City Alderman, thanks for having me tonight. Herschel Glover, Commissioner, District 5. What I want to go over with you tonight, in your packet you'll find a monthly calendar that we'd like for you to look over. This is your county. Sullivan County belongs to you, and we'd like for you to attend all the meetings that you could. And one of the meetings that was scheduled for tonight has been moved to next Monday night, which is Administrative Committee, which will be December the 10th. And we'd like for you to come and sit in with us. The Administrative Committee is over the jail, the Sheriff's Department, and other departments, and we'd like for you to attend. Also on your agenda, the work session for us is next Thursday night, December the 13th. That work session is going to be very important to the taxpayers of the county, and I'll explain to you in a minute why. Also, on December the 20th is our regular Board of Commissioners meeting. It starts at 6 o'clock. That was moved a few months ago for the folks that work for a living every day to attend and see what's going on in your county. And we would appreciate it if y'all would attend. As we go on down the agenda, you'll see where it says sewer agreement for Sullivan East Middle School. And the reason I want to talk to you about that, the proposal for the Board of Mayor and the proposal for the Board of Education was to spend $1,024,000 to extend a sewer line from the middle school up the Weaver Pike to Weaver's Elementary, a total of 15,000 feet. And the engineering company come back and worked the proposal up, which is a pump station at the middle school and a pump station at the end of Pleasant Grove Road. Well, the problem I have with that, the middle school is going to have about 700 kids. East High School is going to have about 900 kids. Right. They were wanting to hook the middle school, eventually the high school, 4 businesses and 50 houses on a 4-inch line, 15,000 feet. So we kind of got involved in that, and I'm glad we did, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. Back in 1996, Sullivan County, City of Bristol, and the City of Kingsport sat down and worked out what we want to call the city-county sewer agreement. And in that sewer agreement, it states that a collector line, which is a pipeline usually 8 inches or smaller in diameter, or a forced main, and that's what this line is going to be. It qualifies for both of those. So we done some research on this and went back and dug this information up, and I approached the county attorney with it. And him and Mayor Venable are working and negotiating with Bristol at this time to run that sewer line for us. I can't tell you how the proposal is going to go with Bristol. I know that they're not going to want to do it, but in this packet, in the sewer agreement, it plainly states that they are responsible for a pipeline usually 8 inches or smaller, and it says for individual residences, businesses, and or industries. And also in that agreement, it states that outside industries or businesses or Sullivan County schools would be charged the same rate as the inner city schools, which should be about 50% cheaper than the original proposal. So that's what we're working on, and I would love for each and every one of you to contact the mayor's office and encourage him to proceed with this also. I would much rather see that $1,024,000 spent on our kids and our teachers in the county instead of a sewer line. And the thing about it is, if the county runs this line, and as soon as we turn the pumps on and get them under operation, we give every bit of that to the City of Bristol anyway. It's theirs. And the revenue goes with that. So that's kind of what we're working on with that proposal. And the next thing I want to talk to you about is the future of the Bluff City Middle School building. I know it's a year or so down the road, and the Board of Education owns that building. And any suggestions that the board has, or any suggestions that the taxpayers of Bluff City has,
we need that building.
Please.
Because we're overrunning on the City Hall building and don't have storage, and we need the middle school building.
Well,
and we hope that you will support it. And
what would your plans be for that building, Mayor? What would you?
Well,
yes, sir. Another tire tied around the neck of the City of Bluff City.
Yeah.
That's floating it to the bottom of the lake.
What was?
You can't keep the town up.
Well, we have other comments at the end.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, we talked about being able to use the gym. We talked about being able to use part of the middle school possibly for maybe moving the police department there or more storage there, and then renting out some of the building to raise money for different things. And
what I would like
we'll give you a total breakdown
Okay.
talk with the board and.
What I would like
we'll
to see
get
go in
something.
there, if it's any way possible, would be some type of business or some type of career technical school for kids that don't want to go on to college but earn a trade, and that would be a perfect building for kids to learn how to operate heavy equipment, work on diesel engines, and so forth.
Mark Ramsey would probably get behind that where he's trying to push it.
Any of the citizens have anything to say? Okay, I would like, if you're considering that, I would like for you to really evaluate if it's going to be another expense for Bluff City, because we can't afford it.
What we would do if we turned it into a career technical, we would work with the colleges in this area, such as Carter County. They have a career technical. It would be kind of on the same basis.
Okay, well, it sounds great, but my concern is these high water bills, and we don't need anything that's going to tax the citizens.
If we can get something in that building to produce revenue for Bluff City, that would possibly keep you
Where
revenue.
would it go?
Yeah.
If you would be over it to oversee where the money goes, that would be great. Because we're just in a pickle right now.
That's just some ideals, but
We
we
really
have
appreciate it. I
we
think
have a
the
few
board-
years, and I want you to think about something else. The way the Board of Education is working right now, and like I said, I'm not a school board member. I don't know the ins and outs of their daily operations. But in the future, in 2022, I want you to be aware that Bluff City Elementary has a possibility of leaving also
Yeah.
in the next phase. And we don't need to lose that. Bluff City Elementary needs to stay in Bluff City.
Yes.
And if we're going to lose several $1,000s off the middle school leaving, and if we lose that elementary, that would be a large loss also. And we're going to do everything we can. And also in the last little bit, there have been some things in the media about this commission cutting money from the school department. When this commission took office in September, the budget had already been set, it had already been voted on, it had already been implemented. We didn't have anything to do with any budget cuts or any money being transferred from one division to another when we took office. And like I said, please, each one of you call the mayor. Let's move forward with this sewer agreement. That money needs to stay in the school system for the kids and the teachers, and we just need to get a handle on that spending. It's got way out of hand. That middle school's $4 million over budget right now, and I want to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I appreciate letting me be your county commissioner in the district. And I'm going to attend all the meetings that I can. Tonight, if this hadn't worked out, our meeting was canceled tonight because a lot of the folks that's on the administrative committee with us, they serve in the Blumpville area where they're talking about closing Blumpville Middle School and some of the schools that host them. So the thought on the career technical part for the middle school, that's something that hopefully in the future that we can get with some state representatives or some state senator and see if we can't move positive maybe in a direction like
Right.
that.
Because we have so many people that are not interested in going to college.
Well,
and if we can get some
and
things
see
from the
these,
technical
and what we could do is work with people like Baker's Construction, people like that. They would donate a piece of equipment for these young men and women
Right.
to learn how to operate, work on,
Probably have jobs lined
and
up.
probably have jobs lined up for them. You can't find a very good operator that's ready to go into the workforce in this area right now.
Right.
Do it on the job, and they don't
And
want to pay for that.
that's true.
And see, Eastman and some of the other companies, they work where they train so many people.
Yeah.
If Eastman's going to hire so many, then they have the company to train them to move into that position.
From what I understand, this new high school is going to have a bank inside of it for children to learn how to do banking and so forth.
That's good.
And that's what concerns me about our middle school up here. They're focused so much on the high school that our middle school's getting left out. And that's where all of our children in this area is going to be attending is that middle school and East High School. And I'm concerned about the renovations for East High School too. It's time that our children in this area get the recognition and and the opportunities that they deserve.
So, too.
And I think that's one way to move
That
forward.
trade school would be awesome. Because I know Mark Vance has been talking about it for the last 2 or 3 years, trying to get something. He'd be another commissioner to get there on it. So.
And see that
I get a laugh back there off of one of them, but
that would be
together.
that would be a opportunity to take the gym and turn it into put some garage doors up, turn it into where you can get equipment in and out of there.
It's true.
And you got a facility there that would be big enough to
Definitely classrooms.
to handle it. Classrooms and all. But that's a thought. We all can work on it together
Sounds
in the
good.
future, and we'll get with some other folks. And like I said, thank you again for your time. I apologize for being late. There is a letter in your packet that was in the Kingsport Times News on Sunday. I don't know if you have read that or you saw that, but if you would take a look at that when you get time and read over that. It talks about the sewer agreement, and it talks about the plans for that. Again, thank you for your time, and
I'm going to
appreciate
aggravate you. Do we need to make a motion on Ballard?
Ballard was a
Because Kingsport ain't doing nothing. Sullivan County's the one done anything.
I would invite Ballard in to speak to you folks about that.
Because they never spoke with at the meetings, but then they wanted you all to come down there and break the sunshine law.
Wanted us to attend a Friday morning meeting, and of course Kingsport took the same action that we did. Of course, Kingsport's going from a level 1 trauma center to a level 3. Bristol's going from a level 2 to a level 3.
Right. Now, Sullivan County helps fund some of that trauma level at Kingsport.
Yes.
And they're intending that funding to go to Johnson City, are they not?
That's
some of the hearsay.
That's something that's being checked into and worked on now.
Yeah.
And I'm concerned about that. But the Nice Wonder Children's Hospital in Johnson City is great.
It's one of the best.
It's one of the best. And from what I understand about this agreement, they're going to add on a neonatal unit for Bristol and for Kingsport and keep it in both places for emergency situations. But Nice Wonder is it's a terrific hospital, and I think they take care of the children and their needs and problems just like they have been. But what people need to understand, that was a business decision, but when you have to keep 24 to 28 full-time people on staff all the time for a trauma one level. So that's a lot of money. And I'm concerned. We want to keep all the hospitals open, and that's a concern.
Right.
But thank y'all.
Thank you.
Like I said, Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're down to old business. Does anybody have any old business?
No.
Have any new business?
Well, we already discussed the police cruisers, so.
Yeah, so we got those. Okay, we're down to the last section of citizens' comments. Come to the podium and give your.
Brian Hunt, 191 Lakeview Drive. I want to say tonight is the first time I've ever seen the Board of Aldermen and the mayor actually have a discussion about doing something in regards to the police department. That's the first time I've ever heard or seen a discussion. All we ever see is amendments, people vote on them, some approve them, some deny them. But where does this discussion and everything, where does that take place?
We get our packets ahead of time and we look over it and make our own decisions beforehand.
Okay.
Typically, unless we have questions, and then we'll ask those in the meetings.
And we have discussions about the budget and what we're going to have in the budget, and the board has the opportunity to discuss it when we're working on the budget.
The ordinance about the dealing with standard building codes, what's the reason behind changing that?
You have to update it every so often.
Every 7 years. You have to be within 7 years of what the state of Tennessee has.
Right. Well, you said standard. I didn't know if you was going to go by city, county, or national building codes.
International building code.
International building codes. Is that different from national?
Yeah, it's
Because
got
national
INT at the front of it.
Well, yeah, but international is worldwide. National is statewide. The reason I'm asking-
International, it's just the building codes for the state of Tennessee.
Okay. Does the city of Bluff City have a code enforcement officer?
Yes, we're working with Elizabeth right now.
Okay. So then you're carrying your own building codes. Because if you're using that. And the other thing about that was permits. The amendment on building permits fees. You said that you had to up those according to the state. Is that correct?
No, we didn't have to up them according to the state. They're in line with what the state charges. Bluff City, because after we update this code, we'll be able to do our own inspections on residential, and this is what people are actually paying now because the state is doing it. So we're just making that in line with the state.
But doesn't every city set their own permit fees?
Yeah.
Okay. So ours is higher than what the state's charging?
No.
Why is Bluff City not making money on that?
Well, we'll have a public hearing on this next reading.
Okay. That's all I have.
Okay. Does he?
Well, Keith, Field 5, Lakeview Circle. First of all, I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Be kind one to another. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Fry for sticking with us. I know it's hard, but thank you. And I thank Ms. Sharon for always being so kind. And also, as you know, that I am an advocate for children with disabilities, and I work very hard to try to make sure they get an appropriate free education. So, it happened to be my nephew. He's autistic. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Chief DePue and his department for working with him so kind and hard. He had a project to do for school. He's in college now, and they worked with him. He made an A. So I'd like to say thank you.
Yes.
Also, I know I only got 3 minutes, so I'm going to make this fast. Y'all was talking about building permits. Well, when we built our garage, Miss Mary Wells told Sandy to tell me that I had to get someone from Johnson City to come and inspect. So I think it was Rhonda Sawyers or something like that. I got the papers at home. Everything's documented. But anyway, I'll bring it. Her name is Rhonda, I think. Sawyers.
She's no longer.
She's no longer.
We have somebody.
Okay.
There.
Well, she came to inspect it. Also, I told her what I was doing. She okayed everything. It's all in writing. She said that I didn't have to pay anything. She came and done that. And she told me when I was ready for my deck, which we've already started it, we're just doing a little bit at a time, closing it in. So I wanted to let you know about that. So are you saying that we're going to have to turn around and pay something?
Well, usually the minimum is like about
But I've already had it inspected.
Oh,
She's
you
already
paid
came.
it?
No, I didn't have to pay. I've got the paper at home. It was from a development, Northeast Development. Does that sound right with you all? I've got the paperwork at home. The lady's name was Rhonda Sawyer.
She was out
Okay.
state.
All right. Well, I had her to write everything out for me, so I got that. Okay, but I want to thank Mr. Boland and Vice Mayor Harrington for sticking with the officers, trying to help them to get the car. I appreciate that. Also, I'm going to say this. We try to fix our homes up. And, it's hard. I mean, people are struggling, trying to make it. And then on top of trying to fix your homes up, you turn around and got to pay a fee. People can't afford it. And I'd like to ask the commissioner, and I thank you for being here, if you have any solutions, anything that can help make Bluff City more affordable, because we all need to work together. It's no big I's or big me's. We all need to come together. We're starting a new year. This is a beautiful town. And that school, that would be a strong foundation to start something, to build up. Okay. I know my 3 minutes is up, but Irene, you don't want to hear it.
Thank you. I don't care. Everybody has 3 minutes.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Okay, does anybody else have anything they'd like to say?
I would like to add one thing.
Okay, come on back to it.
I don't have to get up. Alan and the Public Works Department, since we've moved to town, they went above and beyond. I've never called and asked anybody to pick up no brush, no leaves or anything like that. I made my kids get out there a couple weeks ago on Sunday and rake leaves. Monday they was gone. So, those guys are on top of it.
Thank you. Okay, is there anybody else? If not, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
Take a vote, please.
Alderwoman Madison.
Yes.
Alderman Ward.
Merry
Yes.
Christmas.
Vice Mayor
You too.
Harris.
Good to see you.
Good seeing you.
Alderman Bowen.
This is a mess.
Oh, yeah.